Here at Lucas Oil in the Ford Fiesta using the standard fixed set. So on the fixed set, sixth gear isn't long enough, so it'll bounce off the limiter for quite a while. That's not a problem. So coming up to the line, you want to be extreme right. And then I aim in towards where the joker line and the apron intersect. That is what I use for a braking reference, possibly braking just a little bit before it, but coming down and very low like this to push up the banking, because the banking will help slow me down as well. You see, yeah, just before there I'm starting to brake, because you can't brake too hard in these cars. So you see it's never really getting much above 50%. Slowing down the gears into second before I turn it in. Yes, the car will want to sort of tip over a bit. Also, one of the reasons to go up here and then have a sharper rotation is that these cars tend to prefer being rotated right on the spot as opposed to an arcing turn in. So hence you sort of make corners a bit sharper, or you can brake deeper into it. So once I've got the rotation done, then I can start to get back on the gas. Now this one's a little bit tricky, because even though this appears to be, this short section here appears to be road, it has the texture of dirt, so I treat it like dirt. There's a wee sort of splodge on the ground in this region. That's what I'm roughly using as a braking reference. But instead of turning in like you do on road, I sort of just turn the wheel into the corner a little bit, tap the brake, and that sends the rear out, because it's effectively like it's on dirt. You see, turn in, a little bit of brake, and that just slides the rear around. You want to be clipping the sausage and going over this curb, because as soon as you go a little bit wide on this corner, there's just no grip, and you've really compromised the next part. And the next part of this is very important, because that leads to the straight and the jump. I got this one a little bit wrong, because I got a little bit onto the grass there, got a bit sideways. But you are trying to cut this very close, because you can then drive out straight. You see, you want to be in high gears, lowish throttle, because it's just wheel spin city down here. Fifth gear over the jump. No need to change down to fourth, that was brain fade. And then once you tip it into the corner here, and you tip it in quite early, you then play with the brake and the throttle to try and keep it as close to the wall as you can. So throttle will push you away from the wall, brake will bring you into it. And it's just playing with those two to try and stay in as close as you can. Because again, there's more grip down here, and you don't want to be going the long way around. So I try to keep that slide going around here, and about this line here is where I'm looking to then pitch the car into there. There's no handbrake required. So I'm keeping that slide going, starting to set it up, and then get to that area and throw it in. And just slowing down into second. I've missed it by quite some distance. That's okay, because I can start to drive off as soon as I've hit the road. Driving up out of the corner, up into the top lane, up through the gears reasonably quick, because these things have a lot of torque. There's no point in revving too far. And what I use as a reference is this red Lucas Oil sign. I'm wanting to, that's sort of my reference. I'm trying to turn down somewhere in this range, probably getting into 5th, yep, and then turning down and just judging with the throttle until I can, cutting down into the apron, then full throttle. Once I sense that it'll handle full throttle without pushing me into the wall. And then you're headed down into there again. So from the chase view, coming down, looking for the X marks the spot, somewhere to try and hit. Long, slow braking up the hill. As soon as you can sight that, you pull the car down the oval. It'll go up on 2 wheels, not a problem. You definitely want to be slower into this corner, just so as you definitely get into this part. That is ideal. This part here was a little bit loose, but the theory is there. And then drive off in a straight line. You can make a lot of ground up even on this short straight just by getting much better drive out of that corner. So almost as soon as I land, I'm then looking to, once I clear the jump, I'm looking to tip it into the corner, and while I'm sideways, I'm trying to be as straight as I can while holding a drift. Because if you're too sideways, you're losing speed, but just trying to keep it reasonably straight, and I've got it pointed towards where I'm wanting to come out. Starting to straighten the wheel up, using this marker here as a reference to then tip it in. Ideally, you want to be going over the curb. That's still okay. Up the oval, so as you can maximize this turn and your speed down the straight. Just in and around there, start turning down. There's far more grip than I thought. I probably could have got to full throttle a lot earlier and could have used some of the grass there to help shorten the distance. Right, so full speed from cockpit. And that was Lucas Oil. So hopefully that was helpful to some of you. Any questions, leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next one.